Dave Johan once again. Pleased to be joined by Macklin from Sky Sports, former world title contender. What do you reckon of today's events then?
I think pretty much what we expected. You know, Joshua, I think, has found his optimum fighting weight, which is around the 17-72 mark. Usyk, a little bit heavier than he's ever been, but I don't think it was like, you know, dramatically heavier where we need to think, wow, he's going to come and sit in the pocket and try and trade with Joshua and he wants to pile on extra weight for that. No, I don't think that. He was 4 pound heavier than his last fight, but I think that's probably just a natural, you know, growth into a heavyweight now. So I don't think anything, you know, alarming from either side to take from the weigh-in. It's the tactics and either guys or both guys' ability to implement their tactics, which is going to be the key thing here.
I mean, people are saying this could be Joshua's most dangerous fight. I mean, what are your takes on that? Do you think it is?
Yeah, I do. Look, every fight poses a different threat. Look, the Ruiz rematch was a very dangerous fight because, you know, where was he going to be psychologically, confidence-wise? Of course, Usyk, Ruiz from a style point of view, fast hands, carries power. So that posed a lot of, mentally, psychologically, going straight back into the immediate rematch, that posed certain risks. But he did what he had to do in that fight. You know, kept it long, tied him up close, boxed to instructions. You know, Pulev then, you know, there was all the talk of the Fury fight. Then this happens. It's like the Pulev fight, mandatory, that really you didn't want to do because you wanted to go into a bigger fight. You know, would under motivation be a problem? That was probably a risk in that fight. This fight, I think, in terms of game plan, tactics, executing that game plan, the southpaw skills of Usyk, it poses another set of problems. This is a difficult fight. Tactically, this is a difficult fight. Joshua definitely has to impose himself on Usyk. He's the bigger, stronger man. He hits harder. But at what point of the fight does he do that? Does he come out and jump on him at the very first bell? 12 rounds is a long time, and if you set that tone and you start in 5th gear, it's very difficult then to ease back from that. It's a lot easier to go to step on the gas than it is to step off it. Once you've set that tone, it's very difficult then to slow down. So I think the key decision, and I suppose this won't really know. You can have all the game plans in the world, but you won't know till you get in there. Is when does Joshua put it on Usyk? Does he do that from the first bell, or does he try and box his way in, get the read of Usyk, get his distance, get his timing, warm into the fight, and then put it on him rounds 3, 4, 5, somewhere like that? Or does he wait too long? Usyk gets his tail up, bags a few early rounds, get his confidence, and all of a sudden now Joshua's coming from behind and he's chasing the fight. These are all ifs and buts and maybes and questions that I don't know the answer to. No one does. But this is what makes it such an intriguing and an interesting fight.
I mean, is it fair to say it's too much into reading into the last time AJ fought Southpaw? It was Charles Martin. The last time Usyk fought at heavyweight, it was Chisora. Is it too much reading into that? I mean, they're only like little dip tests, aren't they, would you say?
Well, look, I suppose the reason he's only faced another Southpaw to now, since Charles Martin, was there hasn't been any top contenders that are Southpaws. And Chisora's fight with Usyk, what we can take from that is that Chisora put Usyk under a lot of pressure, but then Chisora's got a different style to AJ. He is a seek and destroy. He was always going to try and jump on Usyk from the very first bell. AJ's more technical. He's good at long range. Now, is he good enough to outbox Usyk at long range for 12 rounds? No, probably not. But I think he can in patches, and it's probably early on until he settles into the fight himself and gets a bit of time in his distance. That may be the way to go. For me, the key point will be when AJ puts it on him. At what stage does that happen? Does he, is it round 1, 2, 3, 4? Is it 6? Is he chasing the fight then? Does he need a knockout by round 8, 9? These are the things that I'm mostly intrigued about.
And because you're calling the fight as well, it's hard to pick a winner, isn't it, I suppose? Or have you got a strong favourite in mind? Or
I can see both ways. When someone says to me they fancy Usyk, I get it. When someone says AJ, I get that too. Look, if someone put a gun to my head and said, what have you got to do? You've got to pick a winner. I'd probably say I fancy Joshua to come from behind to get the knockout. That's what I expect. I think after 6, 7, 8 rounds, Usyk may well be ahead on the cards.
Good stuff. Matt, all the best, mate, from the Boxing Voice, and we'll be in touch soon. Good luck.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.